I don't see this as the result of the trade wars. I think that's being used as an excuse. I mean, if you take a look at the grain markets, they're exploding higher throughout all this bad news, which they should be the most affected. I think we've got the very early stages of a recession. I think you're seeing that we can't get the continued growth, and most of the rallies have come back from a lot of the stock buybacks. But we have consumer confidence at the highest level it's been since when? 2007, 2001, and 1987. So again, when we get so overexuberant and so overconfident that we take on more debt, and of course, we know that that doesn't last forever, and I think that's what you're starting to see here. The accumulation of too much debt. I don't think the banks are as strong as everybody believes they happen to be. And there's a lot of issues here, including the fact that we are dealing with China, including the fact that there's going to be earnings are going to miss, almost guaranteed. And I think there's a lot of issues in this market that nobody wants to recognize until they do, and then it's too late.
Todd, I'm a bit surprised to hear you say that we're already in the beginning of a recession, because that's different from what we've heard from Fed officials, from the banking CEOs, which I understand you're saying banks could perhaps not be as strong as they think. But what are you seeing exactly that they aren't? Because just the fears of a China-U.S. escalation aren't enough to tip us into a recession. Usually it has to come from a severe financial imbalance or a policy mistake.
Well, I think we have a little bit of an imbalance now, because you're going to see the Fed is now going to be forced to lower rates again just to keep liquidity open, and there is a lack of liquidity throughout the system. You can see that by the lack of volume being traded, but you can also remember, economists never see a recession until 10 years after it's over, and they go, oh yeah, back in 2019 we had a recession. We've never had an economist call a recession in the beginning of it, but I'm seeing a lot of things happening locally and throughout the country, throughout the markets, of stores closing down, debt being built so high that it'll never get paid back. There's just so many issues, and what happens then? Plus the fact that you've got troubles in Europe, you've got troubles everywhere. The global economy is melting down. It has to bring its way to here eventually, and I think you're starting to see those results, which you're hearing companies come out with excuses already why they're not going to make earnings, but at the end of the day, it's just an excuse, and things are slowing down a little bit, and I don't think we're going to see a good GDP print either.